Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Taking a quick look here again at Dogecoin, seeing what's going on since yesterday. Obviously, it pumped past our previous fib levels there, where I went ahead and redrew those out just a moment ago before we started hitting record. And we're going to look at some liquidation data too to kind of see what could happen next. Now, if I recall correctly, there wasn't a lot of liquidation in the upper price points here. So the price is just moving without any type of aggression, even though the price is moving fast. And what I mean by that is liquidation levels are commonly sought after to effectively be able to sweep levels of liquidity, and there really isn't much left. So people are not trying to short this coin. That's kind of the bottom line. So if we jump right in here, just kind of give you perspective, rerun this, we can see there are some shorts, but really not a whole heck of a lot. There are late shorts there, which is perfectly fine, honestly, because I get why you're wanting to short at this level. It's roughly about 10.5 to 10.8 cents. Okay, so that's kind of the range there for shorts. But as you can see, there wasn't a lot of shorts leading into this, so not a ton of liquidation. Just keep in mind, again, 8 to 8.5 cents is a pretty strong, heavy accumulation of liquidation data. Quickly to note, I want to congratulate our community members here. Phenomenal stuff here. Our scalping bot caught a nice 70 and 60% from AVAX. I'm sure you guys have seen Avalanche is going nuts right now. We took some healthy profits from, let me see here. So Reef, Atom, QNT, 60, 80, there we go, Dogecoin, 83% in 6 days. So our nice little long position is looking good. I think we're going to still hit our fifth target, but it may take a moment. And I'll explain why here in a minute. So let's go ahead and start with the dailies just so we can kind of get a big picture here. And just to clarify, this is a very healthy continuation, contrary to the overextension we're seeing. Okay, keep in mind, we are seeing 3 white soldiers here forming, so we could very well see a 4th red day, or this very well could be the pullback that we're looking for to give us that nice period of consolidation before the price legs up again. Okay? Again, we have to pull back at some point in order for this leg up to be warranted. If we take a look at RSI, we can see stochastic is trying to swing down, but is still also coming up. In other words, we got a lot more momentum, so instead of diverging and the price pulling back, which it kind of still is, right? It's definitely pulling back from that 10.5 cent range. We can see with money flow index being so high, the price should be able to sustain this range. Okay. Furthermore, RSI is insanely high, right about 78. So I mean, these are all massive overextensions that do have to come to an end within reason. And what I mean by that is smaller time frames will reflect this pullback here, this massive candlestick up in the pullback. That might be what is needed. Okay, just that healthy correction based on that being overextended. Again, we hit a 9 on TD sequential 4 days ago, and the price is continuing higher. We're 13 days into this higher high based on previous candlestick. Because if you're not familiar with TD sequential, it basically takes the 4th previous candlestick and counts up until you hit a 9, and then it kind of lets you know this might be the break pumping moment. But since we broke our recent high there right at the 9, we can see we've taken off from 8.6, and the price hasn't looked back yet. All right, so all that said, the daily time frame looks extremely bullish. We can summarize that. That's really easy to understand. Taking a look at the 4 hour though, what we want to recognize is some overextension. We're at a 7. We have potential for another 8 hours of continuation higher. I think that's less likely, but if we can consolidate here at this 0.236 fib level, we should be in good shape. As you can see, the price pulled right back to that level, bounced, and is trying to consolidate. So this could be the beginning of another type of pennant pattern. That could be really well what we're seeing here so far. Too early to tell, but what we want to look at is a few other things as well. So this is actually kind of nice. This is what I talked about previously. Dogecoin's actually performing very well, better than other coins because it's slow and steady growth. In other words, we can see this here where stochastic RSI, yes, is diverging. We could see a pullback. That's actually part of the pullback that we are seeing rather. But if we look at the RSI and the money flow index without kind of the confusion of the stochastic, you can see we're just kind of hanging out there right around 70. In other words, the price action has never gone fully overextended, minus this little outlier here that just corrected itself, and it's just kind of maintaining right there at that overbought scenario. Okay, now again, statistically, the price is due for a pullback based on that regard, but with the amount of money flow index staying high and the amount of money staying into this coin, that leads me to believe we're going to be in good shape to be able to sustain this price. What I mean price is price range, somewhere between this lower fib here, right at about I think that's 0.382, at roughly 9.3, upwards of about well, we can just say 10 cents because, again, 9.3 to 10 cents is somewhere to that range there. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at. That little guy there is a pretty important level. I'll post that on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I always send out playout charts so you kind of know specifically what I'm thinking. You make sure you follow that and enable notifications. But when it comes to Dogecoin here, the 4 hour time frame is looking pretty sweet. Okay, I don't see anything disadvantageous. Last but not least is the hourly. Let's quickly summarize here. and recognize the hourly should still be in good shape, which it is. We can see we're above the cloud, lagging spans free and clear, and of course conversion lines above the baseline. This does imply though that if the next 12 hours of price action cannot surpass this level, you may want to consider taking some profit. I would not necessarily consider that personally, just because, well, with our Dogecoin trade, we've taken 4 out of 5 profit targets. Our stop loss is at break even already, so the price pulls back. We walked away with like 80 to 90% profit. Not a big deal. That said, though, with Dogecoin here and now, if you're in a trade, we do have the lagging span hanging out right there at this 0.236 fib. Excuse me, right at 9.8. That being said, this should be the new support level 9.8, based on it being kind of, well, not kind of, it is a fib level, but also the cloud is averaging itself out there. Okay, so again, simply put, this tells us not to close our long position, but if the next 12 hours the price cannot seem to break through this this upper level, then this conservative indicator is saying to maybe consider taking profit. Okay, and I always recommend doing that if you can. Try not to be a greedy diamond hand holder. Never truly know. There is some fundamentals for, I think, the whole SpaceX thing, if I'm not mistaken, due in January. So this could be that whole, buy the rumor, sell the news. Who knows? But that being said, the TA looks phenomenal, and there's no reason to short against this coin. If you're going to consider a position, consider along here, 0.236 at 9.8, or potentially even 9.3 if the price pulls back to that level. Last but not least here, I think I already said that once, and it's technically the second last but not least, is these fib levels here. The price does end up pulling back. We will see potentially 9.3, 8.8, and 8.4. Okay, so just some food for thought there, folks. Do me a favor before we go, hit the like button. Do yourself a favor too. Also make sure you join the best exchange in the world. My personal opinion, of course, but my community just freaking loves these guys. And I can see why. They give you healthy benefit rewards, no KYC, no VPN, and we're gonna have trading competitions here very, very soon, now that we're starting to pick up on volume. So again, really cool stuff there. Be sure to check that out, link down below. Thanks again for watching either way. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.